When I think about this federal legislation, I think about the cycle that we are breaking for our people. I think about the great solace that I feel as a grandmother. I know that my children, my grandchildren, and my great-grandchildren will not experience the child welfare system that we experienced as a nation. This federal legislation honoring our Children, Families, and Nation Act, it represents that breaking of a cycle that we've been in for 500 years. This legislation is so important because it's going to be based on Peguis values, traditions. Those are the things that have not left us. And this legislation embraces all of those things. It does not exclude anyone from the process of taking care of that child. And this legislation, it signals our process to decolonize from the great tragedies that many of our people experienced.
It's emotional for me to speak about our children because we've been waiting for many years for things to change, and now we have the opportunity. It's a change for everyone, and it's going to take a lot of work to build up that trust within our community and our people. And we're hoping and praying that it's going to be positive for the new outlook with the new law. Our community will really benefit from it because there's many of our people, the older generation, that they have children that were taken through CFS, and they're probably still have a lot of heartaches, a lot of pain. And with the new law coming in, hopefully it'll free up a lot of our people, our elders, and our people, our children, especially our children. We got to keep them in our homes. We got to keep them in our own setting. They need to know their identity. They need to know who they are. They need to know their roots, where they come from, and be okay with themselves.
What I was aware of was kids were apprehended and they didn't have no place to be in Peguis, in the past, and they were taken to different places. And I think that in itself is a big fear. This way, at least we'll have people that be looking after them, and the families will get more involved, because some families are so torn apart. They get mad at the agency and they don't want to have nothing to do with it. And I think this will open the door for them to work together and to find out that we're here to work together with them. And this is a first time, for a First Nation to govern our own agency, and I think it's a positive step forward.
It's an exciting time. When I listen back to the other board members that have been here for a while, they talk about things, and when I first came onto board, they had talked about it and said this would never happen, but here we are today, and it's an exciting time, and I feel very honored and privileged to be serving on this board. I think because the children will be kept in their communities, where they don't have to go out of the communities. A lot of them weren't even familiar with leaving their communities, so it was really hard on them emotionally. But it's different when you're with family and in your own community.
I'm very happy that we have a say, we have control to take care of our people, our families, and we are a caring people and everybody matters. So that's why it's so important to me that it's a circle now. It's a very strong one. And I think it is important that we do keep our children within our families because they're very sensitive, and to be with family, be within that inner circle for these kids to know they belong, and they're so innocent. And I'm so happy that our community, our leaders are with us, and it is emotional.
It's very important because our people have not had a say, in how to do things. They've been more or less told how to do things, and those things have not worked for our people. So if you give them a voice, give them their voice back, then they can have input and they can be part of everything. Because unless it's law, the outside won't listen. For me, it's all about family. It's all about getting those children and families together and keeping them together, because I'm a residential school survivor. I know what it's like to be taken from your family and not being able to go home. The family unit is very, very important. We have a really, really big job ahead of us, but we have the support of Chief and Council, which is very important because we weren't allowed to work with them before, which is crazy because they're elected leaders by the people. They do what the people want. So, we have a chance to become whole. We have a chance to be a family together again. It's really exciting. I'm really excited.
What it means to have a Peguis-led solution is that we recognize ourselves as the helpers, as the shkabe for that family. And it's that family, that those grandmothers, those grandfathers that will come into the circle with our elders, and they will determine the outcomes of their children. I'm very honored and proud to be working for my community, to be able to say to my grandmothers, Dabawin, we have stood up and we will break the cycles by loving one another and offering our tobacco and asking for that guidance. Get you miigwech.